This is Desert Homestead Prepping. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.
Whew. Well, it's pretty hot out here. So we're gonna get started on this. Get going on finishing up this shed. It's pretty hot. We've struggled to really get motivated on taking on a serious project, but we got to get it going and get it finished up. Yeah, I kind of dropped the ball on my theory of starting with the hardest part first. I did the easiest sides first, so the front is going to be the most difficult because of all the intricate cuts. But we're going to just make sure to measure twice before we cut, and hopefully we can get everything fit in place the way that we need it. So we got the pavers that we need to get the inside done. So we just got to get the metal done. We're gonna get some got some flashing that I'm gonna put around the sides. And by the way, don't ever do a Google search for flashing. You don't get anything that has to do with construction, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, so we got the flashing. Should be able to get some flashing on these corners and around the edges and get this finished up. So we're gonna get working on this now. Pretty intense.
Is it full?
No,
I've got this fast.
I can't imagine it's full. It probably did too fast. Well, we got rained out. As you can see, we just had to give up where we were and hurry up and gather the tools and run.
Dave, can you run out to my car and look broken and go?
All right, there it is. We got the structure of the pallet shed done, and it was definitely a lot more difficult than we had anticipated. Working with this metal was very difficult. I just went through all kinds of cutting discs, and just took forever to cut it. Thankfully we didn't mess up really too bad on any of our cuts. There was just one close to the door, and it's just kind of how it is, but we actually got this window cut in there almost perfectly. I mean, I think we're just slightly off on one edge, but besides that, I mean, it looks really good. Now on to the final phase of the pallet shed. I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe the second to final. I guess the final will be actually putting stuff in here. But either way, now we have to do the final construction, which is the floor. So we're gonna get this all kind of leveled out. We're just hoping and praying this goes pretty fast. So I'll kind of show you what we got going on here and our strategy for how we're gonna get this leveled out. So what we got is a 2x4. So we'll just kind of move that 2x4 around and angled and all that to kind of get this leveled and work our way over here. And once we get it pretty well leveled, we should be able to start dropping pavers pretty fast. So yeah, we'll have to get that all taken care of. So we got the dog in here. So this is Tonka. I tried to introduce him quite a few videos back, but unfortunately our sound didn't work and we weren't able to put that in there. So yeah, we've had him for a couple months now. He's a dog that we didn't really intend on taking, but Gabe's friend, his family got forced out of a farmhouse, and they had to go into the city and get an apartment, and they could not keep him. And we didn't really want to take on another dog, but they were so desperate and, you know, wanted him to be in a good home that we finally decided that we would take him. So we took him, and who knows, maybe in the future they'll be able to take him back, but I think he's pretty happy with us. So anyway, that's the story of the dog that just randomly showed up. Okay, we're gonna get focused on this and see how far we can get. Alright, so we're gonna finish up the floor and get this all squared away. So we got the last of the paver stones, and now we got to cut some of these to fit the ends of the rows, and we're gonna see how this works. So I got this special blade for this circular saw, for this skill saw. This is a cement cutting blade. for mason work. Now, I use this to cut cinder blocks, and it seemed to work really well. So I got the depth set so that it's not going to go all the way through this. I should be able to get at least halfway through this, and then the rest should break off real easy, like right along the line. But it will kick up a lot of dust. So that is where these face masks actually have some good use. They didn't seem to help with COVID, but when it comes to dust, really good to have. Same thing when we're riding around and it's dusty. These things are great for that. So I'm gonna get going on this, and hopefully we can cut through it pretty easily. Got to kind of give this blade a break. You can't just keep on cutting and cutting. It's gonna get too hot, and obviously I'm not gonna get it wet because I'm not gonna get this motor wet. That's gonna cause all kinds of problems. Now there's tile saws and stuff, and they're designed for those kind of things, but this isn't. So it'll probably go kind of slow. We'll have to make a cut and let it kind of cool off. All right, so we're gonna see how this works. Go. Probably do a little bit of okay. Let's see how it fits in there. Pretty tight fit. There we go. Yeah. It's pretty nice. Okay, so we'll cut some more for these and see how it goes. There you go. We got the floor done. This project is completed. So cutting these pieces worked out pretty well. Didn't take too long. So take a look. All right, so that's the floor. Didn't expect perfection. We just, wanted the whole surface of the ground covered and everything all buttoned up tight. So now we're gonna put these shelves against the wall, and we're gonna get focused on doing some organization. That's gonna be great. Bet the kids are gonna love that. I mean, just like usual, any project, I have a time frame in my mind, and I should know better. Don't ever trust my own estimations of how long it's going to take to complete any project. I thought for sure this is just going to take a couple weeks, and it turned out to take quite a bit longer than that. I think if I had bought all the materials and just, you know, put it all together with traditional framing and all that, then I wouldn't have had to waste, I wouldn't have had to spend as much time improvising, cutting some of these pallets apart, working on odd and end pieces. I mean, cutting the old cooling belt for siding. I mean, kind of the list goes on and on. But I mean, it's kind of a trade-off. Do you got money in the bank to be able to buy those materials, or do you want to fork out the time to be able to use recycled and free material? So, you know, it's kind of a trade-off. I really didn't have the money in the bank just to go and buy all the stuff that we would need to build something like this. And you know, that's really what this channel's about. Really sharing how we build things on a budget, which is a pretty small budget. I mean, if you've really paid attention to what we don't have a brand new house back in town. I got an old house. I got old trucks. I mean, our four-wheelers, they're not brand new. I don't have brand new chainsaws. I live a life where I'm not a very wealthy person. And so to be able to accomplish the goals that we have, we just have to figure out how to do things like this without putting a lot of money into it. So this structure would have easily cost us $4,000 in material to build this, all with you know, with all the lumber and everything, and the window and the door, to buy all that stuff brand new. So we're pretty happy with the fact that we only spent as much as we did. I did spend quite a bit on these pavers. Could not find pavers on the classifieds free or cheap for some reason, so we did have to buy these, so that got to be a little pricey. All right, guys, you know, thanks for sticking with us. Hopefully you all were able to learn a little bit of something about how you can make a pallet shed. There's different ways to do this. I mean, we staked the edges for the walls. You could make a subfloor out of pallets and then build off of that. There's a couple different ways. I just didn't want to have a floor with any crawl spaces under there. I don't want mice and rabbits and snakes and God knows what else living underneath my shed. And on top of that, the moisture and stuff that gets stuck under there, I just think it's a lot easier. I think it's a lot better for it to just be a flat floor, for everything that's touching the ground to have place, you know, the air to be able to breathe and dry if it ever gets wet. I think it's going to last a lot longer this way. All right, guys, make sure you guys tune back in for the next video. We'll catch you in the next one.